Hi, it's Erin Wilde. The Around Town podcast today makes a stop at the Forward Training Center of Hood County. And today with me is Monica, who's the executive director,
Yes, ma'am.
and Mathew. You are in charge of a big fundraiser we're going to talk about in just a little while. But I want to learn about the Forward Training Center and who you guys train, who you help, and how you do that.
Okay, great. I hope you have a lot of time set aside.
Yes, we do.
Because once I get started, it's hard for me to stop. Forward Training Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that focuses on the educative aspect of life transformation surrounding or empowering employment. So anything and everything that has to do with helping somebody escalate or elevate their employment availability, options, and just success is what we do, short of actual hands-on skills training. So basically, our precept is life transformation through education that empowers employment and educational independence. Economic independence.
So you say educational. Are we talking younger children coming into the world? Who
No,
are
no.
you talking about?
So we focus on the employment age individuals. So we do have the core of what we do is centered around a curriculum provided by a national nonprofit organization called Jobs for Life. And then their youth version, youth being anywhere from 15 to 18 years old, called Powered for Life. But it's all the same thing. And it is a biblically based curriculum.
I love that.
That walks you through the normal things that you think about when you need to know everything you need to know about gaining employment. We start with primarily an introduction and you signed up for. You've come on board for an 8-week class that meets twice a week for 2 hours. So, just under the auspices of interviewing for a job, do you accept this position? Is how it starts, but then gets immediately into under the auspices of God created us to work. We were designed to work. Doing a career assessment to ascertain what your gifts are that God has given you, and how you're supposed to use them, because you're supposed to have that drive and that passion,
Right.
Because He put it there.
Right.
So that's the first thing that we do.
So people can come in here at I have no idea what I want to do with my life or how to even get there, and you have people who are going to help them find that.
Exactly. There's only 2 of us on staff.
Okay.
And I am the executive director, as you said, and then we have the program director who really is in charge of pulling together this entire program, which I'll go into in a second. But they can come in and we meet. We have this class. We offer the Jobs for Life class twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. In fact, we just completed the 8-week spring class last Thursday, and graduation was the past Friday night. And they meet twice a week for 8 weeks.
Right here?
This is the computer lab where they meet, and this is open, and it's open to the whole public. So you don't have to be going through that particular class to also partake in the computer classes, which is everything from just how do I turn a computer on, even typing. There's even a typing.
Wow.
Facet of it, all the way through the whole, Microsoft Office suites.
So how would someone just hearing this, watching this, and I need help with computers? How do they get to be a part of that or get to come in?
They would come into we only run the computer programs concurrent with, well, actually this time we started a little bit before classes started because of a bunch of things that were going on and when we were having the classes, but they run concurrent with the 8-week time frame that we offer each class, each of the Jobs for Life class and the Power for Life classes twice a year. And they can just come in. They can just walk in. We're here Monday through Thursday, usually around 10 a.m. And our office hours are posted as 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., but we are here always until 5 or later most times. But you can just walk in and sign up. You can go to our website, which is just www.forwardtrainingcenter.org, or give us a call. and ask about the classes. And we get an equal number of people coming to us the same way. And there's a whole lot of referrals going around because we are very well connected in the community with all of the community resources, the food banks,
good.
Mission Granbury, mini mansions. That's just to name a few. There's a ton of them. We're a partner with United Way. So all those places people go for assistance, we have either promotional material there or have a connection or a relationship with those organizations as well, because we're all trying to help each other.
That's awesome.
And trying to help the entire community as in complete this whole person. So they can come in any way, shape, or form. And then when they do, we register them for the classes that they desire, and no cost to any of the individuals that want to take anything that we offer.
Everything is free to them.
Everything is free to them, yes. And as I mentioned, there's only 2 of us on staff, so we are highly dependent on some just very generous and heart-driven, servant-minded volunteers.
And so obviously you can get donations, but you also have events.
Yeah, we have fundraising events, but if I could, I want to go back to what the core of this program is. Like I said, they do the career assessment. They go through developing a vocational plan or a game plan, as they call it in the younger group, a little more understandable jargon, and how to write a resume. How to do an informational interview, which most people don't even know what that is. And that's just calling somebody in the field you have discovered that you have an interest or that you want to aspire to, and saying, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me about how you got here. Tell me about this job, what it entails. What do you like about it? That kind of thing. Just to determine, it's like, yes, this is a direction I want to go, and what's needed to get there. And then we do mock interviews. We bring business owners and or managers into the classroom for a session to talk about what they look for in an ideal employee. Wow. And we bring in the community resources, some of them that I told you about, because people come to us in crisis. Almost everyone is in crisis that comes to us. And you got to get that emergency handled, that crisis situation handled before you can really focus on a sustainability. So, I mean, we are the sustainability piece, but we recognize that, you've got to handle what's sitting right in front of you, and before you can do anything about that. And then, as I mentioned, we are biblically based. So every class has a foundational message that is based on some verse in the Bible. Quite a few times it's Jeremiah 29:11, which is, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not bring you harm, to bring you
That's one of my favorites.
And a future. And so that is really the guiding principle behind what we do. We do offer hope. We are about life transformation. And so a majority of the underlying message that individuals are receiving in the class is the importance of character, the importance of living your best person in life. And that transfers to the work environment, obviously. Now, the secret sauce, if you will, to
what is it?
To what this class is each and every student who comes through this Jobs for Life class has a mentor who walks beside them through the entire 8 weeks. And it's not just that 2 hours that they're here twice a week. They are available before and after the classes and throughout the whole thing, because they have required tasks or homework that they do after each class, which is, geared toward, applying for a job, searching the classifieds, or does anybody even do that anymore? I don't know. The internet options, referrals, and so forth, and walking through their vocational plan, walking through writing their resume, and just the whole process. And what I love about this is the dedication that every single, well, a majority of the mentors has in being the champion, the friend, the counselor, the just the uplift and motivating force for each one of these individuals has to do this over and over and over again. And they don't just forget about them after class.
Lifelong friends.
Yes, and support and to the point of giving a hand up, not a hand out.
Right.
So it's a tough love under God's grace kind of situation. So mercy and grace is involved, but we're not like doling out money. We're not doing whatever, because we're supposed to be teaching and guiding to help people become self-sustainable.
Yeah.
And live a flourishing life, So, that's, to me, it gets me in the gut every single time, every single class. And I've been here 5 years and participated in this for 5 years, either as a mentor myself, as an instructor, or an employee. And this is my favorite part of what we do, is the transformation that happens every time, the synergy that's in the classroom with that group of individuals. The other thing that is the focus of this very early on is, okay, there are roadblocks. You've experienced roadblocks, no matter what they are, emotional, physical, physiological, whatever. We're gonna show you how to overcome those. And so you spend one class where people give their 3-minute life story. Here's been my roadblocks, and it becomes extremely emotional. But what you discover, no matter which side of the table you're on, is you are not the only one experiencing this. And oh my gosh, some of these situations are so heart-wrenching, traumatic, and it's like, I just basically want to go over and give you a hug for being here, choosing to be here, because every person that walks through that door chooses to be there. Now, we do have people who, through work with the city and county officials, who have made it part of their probationary requirements to come through our class. But you know what? When it's positioned that way, that is the least successful way of coming through this class. So we start each class with, you know what, you have done something that is so brave and so beneficial to you, and puts you already a step ahead of the people that you may be competing against for jobs, or that next step up in your life, because you have chosen. You've chosen this for yourself. You've chosen to take that next step. Yeah. So anyway, it is just an amazing thing to witness every time. I look forward to that every time. And as Mathew was just telling a group of us earlier, he went to our graduation Friday for the first time, and you can feel it. You can feel it in the room. You can feel.
Do you have a story that you can share?
I do. And I'd like to focus on a Powered for Life student. Although the Jobs for Life people are mostly adults, and it's like that one, 18, 19 to 100 years old, and there's no age limit on that. And I would say that probably a majority of the people that come through in that one are in their 30s to 50s, late 50s, that end up coming through there. And it's a good mix of men and women. It's largely women, but we have had our share of men, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But this powerful, and that's a reactive. That's okay, here's where life has taken you and how it has beat you down or whatever. And even though it's true in both settings that what we bring to the table is we help you find and see your own value, that you are valued, you have value, we see you, we hear you, we understand you, and we value you. I mean, you were created by God. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you are valuable. You have worth. Anyway. But the youth is kind of like okay, let's be proactive. Let's be proactive about this. And currently, we work with the STARS, the GISD STARS kiddos. That's accelerated school. And then we also have, and they come over to our building because it's a short walk. And it's an elective for them. They get to choose. They get to choose. And I mean, we even had students who, they go at their own pace, the accelerated pace of when they finish high school, who have chosen to be able to wait to take or to come over for the Powered for Life class, chosen to put off their graduation date so that they can participate in this on an elective basis. So that's powerful in and of itself. Then we also send 2 of our volunteers over to Premier. That's charter high school, and they do, again, same time frame, twice a year, and they do the Powered for Life class over there. So it's great. So those 2, currently the Powered for Life is just limited to those 2 groups, but we're working on expanding that right now. But in the Powered for Life, we have this young man who he came to us, just big old chip on his shoulder. Big old chip on his shoulder. Never smiled. Always had this stern look and whatever. And he was going down a path full of drugs, gang activity, and so forth. And it had been a familial thing too. So I mean, he was not breaking out of that mold. And and the instructor asked him, hey, what's up? Why do you never smile? Why do you always look so whatever? And he's like, oh, you got to be tough. You can't smile in my world. This young man has the most brilliant smile, and it didn't take very long. It did not take very long of him coming through Powered for Life, and he just blossomed. To the point that by the time I met him, I walked into the classroom, he was so gregarious and charismatic and just focused on the positive direction he was taking his life. I didn't know any of this history about him before I walked in. You're drawn in by his smile. Oh. You are drawn in by his positive attitude and just overall humility. He suffered, he lost a brother, a father, and his grandfather, all within an 18-month period surrounding the time before he came to our class. And it's amazing knowing that about him, but that when I first met him, I was like, oh, I'm expecting some great things out of you, because that's just the aura he presented. Yeah. And there is a scholarship funding that the high school does, and I've forgotten the amazing donor's name who makes it possible. And those scholarships, pretty healthy scholarships, usually go to your top 10 candidates in the high school. But with that instructor's assistance and everything, this young man received financial scholarship to help him with books, tools, and everything he needed to be able to attend the technical school in Waco. Oh. So he went, and so he was learning to work on mechanic type things, and he is back now in Granbury, working as a service technician, working his way up over at a local dealership. So
that's wonderful.
We're so incredibly inspired by him, and we lift him up a lot, just because it was such a drastic change in an individual. And as a result of that, his grandmother, whom he lived with at the time, said, you know what? I've seen what can happen with with my grandson, who I had no hope for. Not no hope, but
Yeah.
just, it was rough. It was very rough. She came through our class. She also went through and got her GED through here too. I mean, we don't offer the GED. We just house the program for Denton ISD currently. But she did it in record time. She did it in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And participated in our class. And she is now working like for your, H&R block or whatever as a tax person. So
it's life-changing.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So I told you, if you let me talk, I'll talk forever. But yeah, that's what we're about. That is primarily what we're about. The heart of what we do is that Jobs for Life and Powered for Life classes. Like I said, we do offer computer classes too. The same gentleman that teaches the STARS group also is an architect, and so he offers CAD training, and we currently have 5 people enrolled in that. And we also offer a Cisco certification network administration preparation training, and that's intense. That's 3 phases to prepare for this test, the certification testing. Each of those phases is a 70-hour commitment. Yeah. So, and again, we have had up to 6 people in that currently. And I don't know where they are in their phases because it's kind of at their own pace too.
And so if somebody does want to be a part of it or any of the classes, is it like an application form that they have to do?
Yeah. We have everybody fill out an application, come in and fill out an application and interview with our program director, Lori Lilly. And a majority of those people come through either the Jobs for Life class. The young kids, the ones for the Power Life class, they fill out the application there at their schools that they're either at STARS or at Premier, and that's all handled by those school officials, the principals of each of those entities, and then they participate in the class. But they're interviewed here. And we go through and talk about what it is that we do here. And if they want to come in just for the computer classes, they still fill out an application. And same for CAD or the CCNA. But that's so that we get to know each other. I mean, a lot of people, when they come in just for those specific classes, they don't know about the Jobs for Life class. So there is usually a transfer over to that as well, or a feed for that as well. And as I mentioned, we do also have GED, or now it's called HSE, high school equivalency, and ESL and advanced ESL, English as a second language, classes done through Denton ISD but housed here in our building. So we accommodate that. And that whole registration and interviewing process is handled through them, but they have a representative here who does that.
Oh, okay.
And we have an enormous amount of people who come in for that, especially the HSE, because they're just, to my knowledge, there's only one other area that offers the option of getting your GED or HSE. I'm having a hard time with HSE. And, I'm not even sure of the process at that other place. But yeah, I mean, even with the community resources that we partner with and work with, they are all needing HSE options as well. So it's a big thing.
Yeah, and you guys depend on getting donations.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We are, like I said, we offer this free to every participant. Curriculum costs money.
Yes,
I mean, keeping the lights on in the building costs money. Everything's taught and everything though by volunteers, which is incredible. Oh, I did forget to mention that every class, part of the Jobs for Life thought process or principle or idea is you share a meal together with every class. So in the one that we're currently, the one that we just finished, it was lunch. We did used to offer in the fall the classes in the evening, so it would be dinner. But with that thought that there's bonding and real fellowship surrounding a meal. So, all of that costs money. And thankfully right now, We have volunteers or organizations who sponsor that, but that is part of, to stay up, and we rely very heavily on the generosity of private donors and fundraising events.
And this big event coming up?
Yes, this big event coming up, June 7th, is our 6th annual Shoot for a Cause, Break the Cycle clay shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And
presented by Bond Arms.
Presented by Bond Arms, and they've done it every year. Yeah, they've been our big underwriter, if you will, every year. Extremely generous for that. It's a great event. It's a lot of fun. And Mathew can probably give you a better idea of how the clay shoots and stuff generally go. But the other event that we have is in the fall, and it's more of a gala, formal-ish event annually to target a different kind of crowd. But yeah, no, and we rely on those heavily. We are partners with United Way, and they are one of the grants that we are awarded, and that's never guaranteed either. But so that's beneficial to us as well.
Yeah.
But grants are not, as you can probably imagine, because of the biblically based element and just the I guess just the underlying thing about what we do is, that self-sustainability thing. It's not, it's not babies.
Right.
It's not veterans and all those other causes that really tug at your heartstrings and are much, much needed and deserving of grant money.
Yeah.
It's harder for us, and we're small, so
Yeah.
So yeah, we rely very heavily.
Okay.
On these
And something
things.
like this with the shoot, it's a lot of fun for a great cause.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
So
and Mathew, tell your story
what
about
can
how
you
you
tell
got
me
involved.
about this big day coming up? What day is it actually?
It's Friday, June the 7th.
Okay.
Right?
Do you
So
still need sponsors?
we are looking at sponsors. We're going to T-shirt print probably this week. So anybody that wants to sponsor probably needs to get on board pretty quickly. But yeah, we're always looking for sponsors you could sponsor in any way, and we're happy to talk you up. If we don't get your name on a T-shirt, then we'll figure out a way to get some advertising, and we'll be putting together swag bags. Every participant will get a T-shirt with the sponsors on the T-shirt on the back, presented by Bond Arms, of course, because they gave us so much. They're our presenting sponsor. They'll be on the front, but everybody that sponsors will effectively be on the back of the T-shirt in some form or another, and they get to put stuff in a swag bag that also every participant will be. So we have a local group, a local cigar company, Granberry Cigars, is donating a cigar for every swag bag. That's over 100 cigars, right? And other sponsors are donating, refrigerator magnets or keychains or pens and pencils or hand sanitizer. Just you never know what you're going to get. So, and we have sponsors that have given us items for raffles and for door prizes and for auction items. So this is one of the great things about Forward Trading. It's just the sense of community and just people always willing to do whatever it is that they can. Maybe sometime, one time it's X for some, the big Christmas gala that we have in the fall. They'll do something big, and maybe they do something small on the shoot and switch it around. But there's always something and a way to participate. More than anything else, we need participants to come out and buy a ticket, buy a round, bring your shotgun, right, and try it. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a competitive sporting clay shooter or anything like that. If you're have a somewhat of familiarity with firearms, come on out. Even if you don't, if you're pretty limited, a lady that hasn't shot sporting clays, right, a lot.
You can still come out and go find out.
Absolutely, yes. We'll find, you know what I mean? You can still come out and participate in some way or another, right? So, because there's a lot of guys like me that love to help instruct and support and things of that nature. So, everybody's welcome to come out, right?
What does the day look like? What does the day look like?
We start early in the morning, of course, and participate participants will show up, and it's very well organized. They'll show up, and there'll be a registration station, and they'll sign a form. We make sure that they sign a liability waiver through Defender, the Sporting Clays organization, and then they can tick off what they want. You want X number of raffle tickets, we put that on the sheet. You can sign up for extra door prizes and all of those kinds of things, and it all goes on almost like a receipt. And at the end of the line, okay, you have a ticket for one to shoot. You have this number of raffle tickets, this many other items that you're going to purchase or do whatever. And so your bill is this, and you pay it out. And then we have a safety briefing. They're put into teams if they don't already have a team that they brought 3 of their friends to shoot with. If they're a single shooter, which we can accommodate, we will put you on teams together. We'll put them together, and then everybody's given a station. Start at a station, and we start, right? I believe we do a shotgun start, if I remember, which is apropos. And then they start competing, and they go through 12 stations. They shoot 100 rounds, 100 birds.
Wow.
So you need a shotgun. There are rentals at Defender, but get there early if you need to bring one or borrow one or something of that nature.
Right.
And then bring 100 rounds of ammunition, but of course Defender has ammunition as well.
So it's at Defender.
At Defender Clays, they're in Fort Worth. So we're going to have prizes for the top 3 teams. We're doing nice belt buckles, right? From Tito's Belt Buckles out of Houston, Texas is doing them, and they do a really good job for us. So, and then top 3 teams will get belt buckles. We have custom-made shell bags for high overall. That's the top shooter, and each loose divisions are open, like a men's division, a ladies division, and a youth division, which is anybody under 18 years of age. So they'll get a custom-made laser engraved by my good friend George Northrop at the Laser Junkie here in town. So they'll get a laser engraved shell bag for top shooters in those areas. We have a couple of gag gifts. If you're not such a great shooter, right, you're probably going to walk away with something too. One of the things that I wanted to do when Monica asked me to be chairman of the event was I want to make sure everybody came away with something. Right? You want to come away with something and feel like you got something for you. It's great to donate, but you want to come away with something in commemoration. So, and just going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great shooters.
Now, we would be remiss in leaving out. We do feed everybody.
Oh.
We feed everybody while they're there, and that has always been generously donated by Heart 8 Barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, Vicki Nivens is an amazing friend of Forward Training Center and many organizations in this town. So we feed you.
Well, it's Heart 8 Barbecue, so
it's fabulous.
It's fantastic. So
yes,
you are going to get fed very well. And then we'll have volunteers. I'm sorry, that's Friday, June 7th again.
Okay.
Friday, June 7th. Again, I always want to make sure people know it is Friday. It is a work day.
It is a work day.
Take a Friday off and bring your friends and come shoot. Right?
How much is it to get signed up?
$125 for an individual, $500 for a team, and there are still sponsorships available at different levels that we're happy to take. You can go directly to a form. You can reach out to www.forwardtrainingcenter.org. You can find the link there under events. Of course, you can Google Forward Training Center, call up, we'll get you sorted out.
You can come in too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't realize the building was right here. I drive by all the time.
I know. You're not alone.
You have to put the address right here, down here. Yeah. Very cool. Well, thank you guys for what you do. I know sometimes that first step can be the hardest, but when you know somebody is there to give you help, it gives you hope too.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of courage.
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.